Hello, my friends. Welcome to a new video and a new fall Halloween themed kind of time. It's early in the fall season, but I am so excited to be kind of starting a bunch of, well, a huge series, kind of, but just a bunch of fall spooky themed videos. And I'm fully embracing the fall spirit this year, and we're going to have a lot of fun in here. We're going to do a ton of videos that are fall related, and I could not be more excited. So actually, I should talk about what this video actually is. We're going to be rereading Twilight and watching the movie. So I can say I have not reread Twilight since I was probably 15, and that's a long time ago. We don't want to talk about how old I am, but that was a long time ago. And I've never fully watched the first Twilight movie. I've watched bits and pieces, but I don't think I've ever fully sat through a viewing of it. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it this time. I am so excited. So Twilight, back in the day, my favorite thing. I so distinctly remember the first time I read it and just how much it revolutionized my world. Then, unfortunately I succumbed to peer pressure and did not want to admit my deep love for things that were popular and became an Twilight hater for many, many years. Now we are here in my 30s and I'm embracing everything that I used to love. And that includes, we're going to revisit Twilight and see how it hits now that I'm a deep adult and if that magic is still there, because I'm also very, very much in my vampire romance era right now. So I think this is the perfect time to try it out and see how it goes. We're going to see the movie. I do remember what I saw of it. I hated every part of it and have not seen any of the others. So we're going to experiment with that. We're going to see how it goes and what I think about it at this age. So I'm super excited. Again, like I was saying, this is really us embracing fall and Halloween, and we're going to be doing so many videos. I think this is going to be the first one out of my little fall inspired series that's coming out, and I could not be more excited. I love this time of year, and I'm just so excited this year. So with that being said, I'm going to go pick up the book, and I cannot wait to start reading this and see how it goes. So thanks for watching today's video. Would love if you would consider subscribing if you haven't already, and let's just get into this. It's honestly so intensely weird to be back in this book and back in this world. And I mean, obviously I'm remembering so many things, but also I forgot like pretty much everything that happens in this, aside from, I guess I would say, like the iconic scenes. And wow, also the writing in this is something else. Can't decide if I hate it or love it at the moment, but Stephanie Meyer has a very, very distinct writing style. And I mean, it's certainly painting the picture of what's happening. So far, not a whole lot has happened. Bella, our main character, has left Phoenix, where she lived with her mom and her stepdad, and moved to Forks, Washington, to live with her dad. And this is someplace she has always hated because she is a sun-loving girl, and it's apparently very cloudy and very rainy there. So she and her dad are not on terrible terms, but they haven't lived together since she was a baby, and things are a little awkward. She also is starting at a brand new school, incredibly nervous about it, and we're following that. And we did just get to the scene where she happens to glance over in the cafeteria and spots the Cullens for the first time, which I did kind of forget how quickly that happens in the book. I, for some reason, thought that it was like at least a few more chapters in and that she'd been in Forks for like a little bit longer. But, just very, very interesting. She's instantly drawn to them, instantly describing them as like the prettiest people she's ever seen, and instantly very, very curious about Edward too. So there's that. Honestly, like nothing else has happened. I think I'm like 2 chapters in, but it's interesting to get back in this world. I do have to say that. like, I'm really having so many weird feelings about this. And I think so many of them is just like, Edward is such a red flag in every single way. And I'm so shocked that like we thought that this was so romantic. Like the way that he's treating Bella, especially in the beginning, where he's constantly trying to avoid her, he's like pulling her in and then being like, no, I can't be near you. I can't do this to you, blah, blah, blah. Like it's so weird. It's so weird. So that's kind of giving me an ick, to be very honest. Edward as a character, never was the biggest fan of him as a character. I just like vampires. But him, I'm just getting weird vibes from him. And then other things I'm noticing, Bella is truly a terrible friend to every single human that she's friends with in this book. She acts so dismissively of them. She seems like she almost judges them for just acting like normal teenagers, and feels like she seems to think she is like holier than thou because she is the one person who's interested in the Cullens and who's giving them a chance and who's not judging them for being weird. And so there's that. Also, just like really seems uninterested in every single thing to do with her friends. Like everything they say to her, she is just so dismissive and not caring. We just had a scene too where like all of the boys are trying to ask her to the dance. It was just such a weird vibe. Also fully every single one of those like teenage boy characters, all the same person in my head. I cannot distinguish any of them. They are not that interesting. And now where we are too. So she just met Jacob and they were on this beach and he told her the history of the vampires and all of these like folk tales about them, which is kind of what obviously leads Bella to believe that Edward's a vampire and to look more into it. I don't know, just wild to me that this legend's going around that people think they're vampires, although it is mostly the werewolf clan, but wild that there's still this like all these rumors about people being vampires, and I don't know, just nobody seems to take it seriously. I don't know. Like obviously the Cullens are very different. They're very weird. They're kind of ostracized in this town, but it's just like the whole dynamic is weird. So yeah, I don't know what my thoughts are. I'm just continuing on. I am slowly plugging along in our read here. So I did just get to the portion where it is revealed that Edward is a vampire. And I have to say, kind of insane that I think this was like their third conversation where Bella's out shopping with her friends in a different town, and then she gets harassed by these men, and Edward swoops in, saves the day, and then kind of like takes her out. But yeah, it's just wild for me that it was like pretty much their third conversation. Unless I'm wrong, I don't think they'd really talked that much before this one. And he very quickly was like, okay, I'm going to tell you that I can read minds. And Bella's just like, okay, all right, no question. I mean, she had questions, but she's like, cool, seems totally reasonable. Seems like something somebody can do. And did not freak out, did not question it. Honestly, just thought she was the one who's weird because he can't read her mind. Like her processing, her brain, like her reactions to things, I do not understand. But yeah, there we go. He told her that he could read minds, and then very quickly it came out also that he was a vampire because basically she confronted him. And yeah, she was like, okay, I'm going to question you. I'm going to send some theories out there. I think you're a vampire. And just so quickly, he's like, yeah, you know what? Seems like I can trust you. Why not? It's so crazy to me how quickly this happened. And also immediately now, Edward is just like glued to her side, and they are basically not spending a minute apart. He's picking her up for school, he's taking her out for lunch, he's doing all these things. And he keeps making these references about how much danger she is in from him. And she's like not questioning it at all. She's like, okay, well, all right, cool, guess I'm in danger. And like literally no other thoughts besides that. It's weird. It's so weird. I think I'm picking up on this so much more now, but yeah, I'm very shocked that this is just like how she's reacting to things. I don't know. There's so many questions. Yeah, just the vibes are so much weirder realizing this. I am enjoying this surprisingly more than I actually was expecting, I do have to say though. Yeah, I thought I would be disliking this quite a bit, but I'm actually having a really good time. Definitely helps that I don't remember very much that happened. It's been so many years since I read this. That is absolutely helping this, but yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm actually like really decently enjoying this. really can't believe, like, when I was younger, how little I questioned the fact that, like, Edward would just sleep in Bella's room every night. Not even sleep there. He would just sit there and watch her sleep. I did not think that was weird when I was a teenager. I really do not understand why, because that is, like, really, really, really creepy. But yeah, when I read it, I was like, oh yeah, peak romance. That's exactly what a guy who loves you would do. No, creepy. Very, very creepy. We just had the baseball game, the infamous baseball game. I'm actually really, really excited to rewatch that scene in the movie because I just remember it being hilarious and I cannot wait. But yeah, they're at the baseball game, and now those other vampires who were in the area are gonna come, and no more vampires are gonna see Bella. I am enjoying this so much, but oh my god, like Edward is such a creep. I can't believe I'd never I mean, I knew that for sure, especially when I was younger. I knew there was things I didn't like about him, but I don't think it really occurred to me that like he is very, very creepy, and just to what that level. But again, still, I'm having such a great time rereading this. I feel so much nostalgia for teenage me and how much love I used to have for this series. But yeah, like I'm enjoying it, but at the same time, like wow, I am seeing so many flaws compared to like just in the romance too. Like there is nothing about this that I feel like is romantic or that should be wished on. Still fun though. Still definitely having some fun. I'm done the book. I feel like the end part of it just kind of flew through for me. Basically Bella's being tracked by this one vampire who decides to murder her. It just kind of flew through. That part kind of, not gonna lie, lost my interest. I was much more enjoying just seeing how incredibly awkward the relationship between Bella and Edward was. And yeah, by the time we got there, it just kind of was like, whatever. But yeah, overall, I had a good time. I had a really good time. This was definitely different at reading it as an adult. And I definitely feel like I came out of this with way more red flags than I kind of had viewed before, and more questions about their relationship, because there's so many things, like they so melodramatically and quickly fell in love and declared their love for each other with like very, very few conversations and kind of decided that they were obsessed with each other and everything very, very quickly. Also, it felt like, I don't know, like I know there had been complaints about this and I know I'd seen people complain. I guess at the time I didn't pick up on it, but Bella is the most like stale bred plain character in the world. Like she has no personality, nothing to her, and she's just like a cardboard wall, and she's just like a piece of cardboard with like nothing on her. But at the same time, it feels like Stephenie Meyer was very, very much kind of making her like not like other girls, because it seemed like she was trying to be like, oh, I'm not into dresses and dances like the other girls. I'm just gonna sit here and read Wuthering Heights and just do my things. So it was like she's trying to be not like other girls, but also had zero personality whatsoever. There was like nothing about Edward that was really interesting, aside from the fact that obviously he was incredibly beautiful, and that was kind of like the one thing that really just drew Bella in, I guess, because otherwise his personality was non-existent, aside from constant references to like, oh, you shouldn't be near me, I'm so dangerous, I'm gonna hurt you, blah blah blah. Yeah, so like that relationship was just so bad, so bad, and that was kind of like the main thing I was focusing on the entire time I was reading it, is just how terrible that is. Yeah, we're done. I continue this reread and continue the rest of the series? I actually maybe might. I kind of feel like I'm definitely in a little bit of that fall spirit, so I might do that. But also now that we are complete, I think I'm gonna go watch the movie tonight, and I'll let you know kind of what I think about it. I have several different streaming platforms, so please explain to me why the only one I can find, like the only version of Twilight I can find, is in French. I guess that's what we're doing now. I'm not willing to pay to rent this, so I guess we're just gonna watch it in French. Also, it doesn't even seem like I can do captions in English, so here we go.
Mais mourir à la place de quelqu'un que j'aime semble être une bonne façon de partir.
Oh my god, look at little baby Jacob. He's so cute. What a little cutie. So I have finished my rewatch of the movie, and I have to say, I enjoy this so much more than I kind of thought I would. Something about this, like in my mind, it was such a bad movie when I watched it back in the day. But I think also I was much more passionate about Twilight as a whole. So I was coming into it kind of like deeply, deeply passionate, and then incredibly upset that it wasn't like exactly how I pictured it in my head. And this time I'm like, I'm not really emotionally invested, don't really care that much. So it doesn't actually bother me if it's like, not that great. And I think honestly, the fact that I was watching it in French kind of made it so that the bad acting didn't necessarily bother me as much because it's already dubbed. So it's like, if people are doing bad acting, I'm not necessarily seeing that as much. So that didn't bother me.